Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Here tonight, the Pro Stock Butt Built inaugural season. It's the season opener here at Lucas Oil. 50 laps around the track here tonight. These drivers going to put on one heck of a show. Start of the first season for the Pure Stock Butt Built here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. This is going to get pretty interesting. Got the good old street stocks out there, but that's right. If you know how to turn a wrench, you're a gearhead. You can put a little bit better setup, a little bit better speed into the car, and maybe you can find yourself sitting in victory lane at the end of this thing. Thanks for joining us here tonight. As always, I'm Darkside Dave in the cave here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth. Do appreciate each and every one of you joining us out there on the YouTube side of things here tonight at Lucas Oil Raceway. And with all that being said, looks like happy hours starting to come to a close. Not a lot of drivers able to make the trip out here to Lucas Oil Raceway here tonight. A few of them caught up with some hauler issues along the way, but nonetheless, things going to get fired off for a great race here tonight. Things getting ready to head off into qualifying. A little bit of information about tonight's race and racetrack. There you see it. RS Button Box is one of the major sponsors here in the Pure Stock Butt Built Super Street Stock Series. Man, this is going to be crazy. This just over a half a mile track is known to put on some great racings way out here. And man, I tell you what, this is, if you haven't seen the Street Stock Series here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator, you're missing a ton of fun. These cars are an absolute handful to drive, but they are absolutely a ton of fun. Looks like we've got a few drivers out there beginning their qualifying lap, so we'll jump out there on board now with the 73 of Vern Wardard as he comes across the line to begin his first time lap. There you see him up against that outside wall, just about a lane down. Nobody turning in a qualifying lap just yet. We are watching that 73 of Vern Woodard come across turn number 4. Now back to the stripe. Going to turn in his first time lap here tonight. Going to go top of the speed charts. 24.70 for Woodard. Does the 23 or maybe the 93. How about Darrell Calder in the 26? Does he have what it takes to put it on top of the speed charts? Now Gary Ashton going to the top of the speed charts. Joshua Taylor sitting right there in second now. Looks like Overlay having a little bit of issues, in the 73 having a little bit of issues as well down there off the track. We'll look back now at the 26 of Darrell Calder as he's on his second time lap now at 24.80 for the first time lap. Let's see what Calder can do here on his second time lap. Going to come across the line. Where is he going to shake out? 24.75. So looks like Gary Ashton going to walk away with tonight's pole position, top of the speed charts right now. Quick time, 24.40 for Ashton. So a lot of drivers with a lot of ground to be made up. Looks like having a little tiny hiccup here. We'll get this taken care of for you, no problem. There you go. Screen's going back to where it should be, doing what it should. Most of the drivers already turning in their time laps here tonight, and as already stated, Gary Ashton sitting on top of the speed charts with a 24.40 for his quick time. Jeff Berger going to sit right there in second. Joshua Taylor third. Vern Woodard fourth. Fifth, Darrell Calder. Now Dylan Surtan out there on his time lap, or looks like he's beginning his time lap. So I tell you what, let's go down there, see if we can't get trackside with that 93 on his time lap, as he's the only driver yet to put in a qualifying time right as we hit the 2-minute remaining mark here in the first qualifying session of the season for the Pure Stock Butt Built Super Street Stock Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. 93 going to go across the line. It looks like most of these drivers using that middle to high lane here on that first time lap, maybe trying to get as much speed and RPM up out of these street stocks They are limited on power. However, if you can turn the wrench the right way, you can get a few more horses up out of the thing. And maybe get a little bit of an advantage over it. Oh, big time moment there for the 93. Almost into that outside wall. Looks like the rear end of the car a little bit happy. Now coming around into the wall. That's going to kill that time lap. And he's just going to go ahead and reset the thing. Looks like Dylan Surtain going to round out the qualifying order here tonight in the 6th position. And with about 1 minute remaining here in qualifying, looks like everybody's put in their times. Gary Ashton gonna take the pole here tonight from Lucas Oil Raceway in the season opener here for the Pure Stock But Built Super Street Stock Series. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step away from the track for just a brief moment, head down track side for the singing of the national anthem. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And green flag flies here at Lucas Oil Raceway. A little bit of a missed time judgment there on my end of things, but now Jeff Berger looks to the inside of Gary Ashton for the first time, looking to the inside. The 23 looks to take back that top spot. Can Ashton get it with his number 23 Jordan sponsored street stock? His Chevy Camaro down there looking pretty sporty. I believe that's actually yeah, it is actually a Camaro. Out there running that high line is pretty much the entire field besides Ashton. Ashton the only one. Oh, big time wiggle there for Vern Woodard off of turn number 2. 23 back into turn number 3, well ahead of the field. Now a 2-car gap separates your race leader, Gary Ashton. Now side-by-side battle. Just for a brief moment there, Vern Woodard looked like he was going to go side-by-side down the front stretch with Jeff Bergner. The 01 of Joshua Taylor right there just behind Vern Woodard. Woodard running in that 3rd position in the 73 machine. Joshua Taylor looking to walk away with a top 3 here tonight. Still very long race ahead of these drivers here tonight. Lap number 4 out of the 50 scheduled in the official race distance. As we work our way off of turn number 2, the entire field still right there with each other. Looks like Dylan Sertan having a little bit of an issue on the start of the race. Finds himself a little bit behind the 8 ball, back about 2 or 3 seconds off of the rest of the field. Oh, big time moment, big wiggle there for Jeff Bergner. Luckily, he was able to keep it out of the outside wall, and it looks like Joshua Taylor, he had a little bit of a moment last time around, so we're going to keep our eye back here on him, as it looks like Darrell Calder now beginning to heat him up, begin to show the nose in the rear view mirror, in that left side mirror. Get Taylor thinking about where he's going to be going, because if you can force a driver into a mental error and a mistake, it's a lot easier to pass them that way. It's fun to get in people's heads. That's where I'm going with it. As we continue to watch the 26 of Calder run that lower line, it looks like he gains through the center of the corner, but just not able to keep the momentum up, and that 01 of Taylor just gets the run up off of the corner, and looks like he's able to gap that 26 by the time they enter the next corner. There you see right now the gap begins to grow once again. Taylor enters high, Calder down near the bottom. Right there you see the gap close, and then Taylor just begins to open that gap right back up on corner exit. Back up at the front, queuing in on this 21, running in the second position right now, Jeff Bergner off of turn number 4, coming across the stripe. He's got a little bit of ground to make up. Looks like he's almost about a full second off of Gary Ashton. These drivers may end up having to hit pit road. Only 50% fuel in the pure stock but built series. Only 50% fuel in the pure stock but built series here. So these drivers may have to stretch it a little bit on fuel, or they may decide just to come down, go ahead and get a can of fuel, make sure they can get to the end. But you got to remember how long it takes to get down pit road and how long it takes the crew. You're going to go a lap, if not 2, down pitting here at Lucas Oil Raceway, and you would like to pit under caution, but you would also like to see the thing go green, especially if you're the race leader right now. Gary Ashton, he's got about an 0.8 of a second race lead. Looks like he may be slowing the pace down just a little bit, as Bergner's been able to catch Ashton by about 0.2 over the last 2 or 3 laps. Back with the third place runner, Vern Woodard, as he works his way off of turn number 4, now back towards turn number 1. He's got about, that's close to about a 10 car length gap to make up to get up to Jeff Bergner. And Bergner, he's continuing to work that gap, continuing to slowly close in on Ashton. So we'll have to see if Ashton is saving or if Bergner's just picking up the pace. Gap slowly beginning to develop here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Got to go about a couple of seconds, about 2 seconds back to get to this battle between Darrell Calder and Joshua Taylor. Taylor now behind Calder, as Calder was finally able to make the pass. Didn't see how exactly that was done. I believe he finally got the run off the bottom that he needed. Now he's just barely keeping that 26 right in front of the 01 of Joshua Taylor. Taylor way up the track, up to the high side. I say way up the track, but it's a very narrow track. There you see the distance, not very wide at all. But right up there running that high lane, just about a half to 3/4 of a car length off of that outside wall, and Taylor's able to just sail that thing off in there. Gets it turned through the center, and he is eating up that rear bumper of Calder. Tell you what, let's get you a little better shot. What do you think? What do you say? There you see Taylor digging Do want to send a big shout out and thank you to the crew on the 01 of Joshua Taylor, allowing us to fix some of the onboard camera shots that we can provide for you here tonight. So hats off to them for allowing us and the team to come down there and attach a few cameras here. This just above the roof line, looking forward on the track as he's now side by side, as it looks like Vern Woodard has had an issue. I am not sure what has happened to Woodard, but he has had some issues. And he is now being shown in the 6th position. We'll try to go back here, see what happened with Woodard, and as you can tell, he's not being shown anywhere on the track right now. So big time issues for Vern Woodard. Looks like some connection issues and some mechanical issues gonna put an end to the night for that 73 here very early as we work our way around the track. Lap number 18 at a 50 scheduled in the official race distance here tonight for the Pure Stock But Built Super Street Stock Series, live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. RS Button Boxes providing the sponsorship here in the Pro Stock But Built Series. So big shout out to them and everything they do. Head on over to RS Boxes. Back at the front, Eshton's lead has continued to crumble. What was once just at the 1 second mark is now down just about a half a second. So Bergner being able to slowly reel him in, but keep in mind, I mean, it's a very short race, only 50 laps here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Is that 23 baiting Bergner at all? Is he stretching it, saving some tires, letting Bergner see him getting closer and closer, maybe burning up the tires a little bit more, maybe leaning on that right rear coming off of the corner a little bit more? Maybe it's a strategy game here by Eshton to allow Bergner to slowly reel him in and think he's catching him, use his stuff up, while Eshton continues to save. Not sure that's the strategy, but we'll continue to watch this thing unfold on the track here at Lucas Oil Raceway here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Taking the pole here tonight and never looking back, the 23 of Gary Eshton has pretty much led the entire thing here tonight. All 23 laps being shown in the hands of that 23 of Gary Eshton. Jeff Bergner's been right there the entire time. Joshua Taylor now up to the 3rd position. Darrell Calder in 4th. Dylan Sartan going to round out your top 5. Vern Woodard behind the wall after early complications. And this battle at the front getting closer and closer. Now under a half a second for Bergner. Does he have what it takes to not just get there, but make the pass? We all have heard it multiple times over. If you've been around racing, it's one catching them is one thing, passing them's another. Battle beginning to heat up at the front of the field for the race lead. The 23 of Gary Eshton wide off of turn number 4. Now back into turn number 1. Heading off of turn number 2, looks like the 21 of Bergner. He's able to cut that thing down to the bottom and get it to work off the corner. Big run off of 2 for Bergner. There you see it, Bergner just cutting the car down, keeping it low on exit, close to the outside wall, and he is right there. Right there, trying to make the pass. Does he have what it takes to get a job? Oh, big time move. Back to the outside wall there. Big wiggle. That was almost a snap there by the 21, as it looks like Vern Woodard has been able to rectify any of the issues. Looks like he's back, pushing the car back to the wall. He'll rejoin the race here shortly, but well behind the 8 ball. Upwards of 10, 11 laps behind your race leader, Gary Eshton, as Jeff Bergner pushing hard to get the race lead away from that 23 into the outside wall just a moment ago off of turn number 2. He is pushing hard, now back to right under a half a second as we see that 73 of Vern Woodard. He rejoins the track 10 laps down. Hats off to him for grinding this thing on out and sticking with it. That shows a lot of character. So big hats off there for the 73 and his entire crew for soldiering on and continuing on here tonight from Lucas Oil Raceway in the pure stock but built Super Street Stock Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Bergner continues to heat up that rear bumper of Gary Eshton. Eshton continues to run that middle to high lane on entry and continues just to hold that same line all through the corner. Now the 21 right there on the rear bumper, looking to the inside now, door to door, side by side. 23 with the advantage on corner exit. Here comes the 21 digging on the bottom right there at the rear quarter panel. 20 laps remaining here tonight in the season opener at Lucas Oil Raceway. The 21 of Eshton digging, 23 of Eshton digging, trying to make that outside lane work. Bergner, he has made that inside lane look beautiful and fast. Look at him cutting it down on the bottom right there, keeping it right there in line with that 23. Eshton knows he has got a fight on his hands, and if he has been saving, well, it is time to pick up the pace. Contact with your race leaders, and both go around. Both cars spin. Caution flag flies. Your race leaders involved in an incident battling for the race lead. My goodness. Let's take another look at this. There you see close battle getting closer. Contact. One goes one way, one the other. Both very hard contact. One with the inside wall, one with the outside wall. Looks like the 21 was able to get the car going first, so he's going to get a little bit of an advantage, I guess, on that as the field makes their way back around the track, catching up to the pace car. Caution laps not counting here in the Pro Stock but Built Super Street Stock Series. So a good old short track Saturday night feel for the Pure Stock but Built Series. First caution lap here tonight. So these drivers, more than likely, all of the drivers on the lead lap, going to hit pit road this time. And there you see them all hitting pit lane this time. Going to get 4 fresh tires and maybe just a splash of fuel just to get themselves to the end of tonight's race. So hats off to each and every one of those drivers for a very long green flag run, then just a little hard old school racing, a little contact, and that went sour. And yeah, we find ourselves under caution for the first time here tonight. And with that being said, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with all your green flag action live here from Lucas Oil Raceway on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Back trackside as we come back from just a brief commercial break. Looks like we may have a new race leader. After some contact, looks like Gary Eshton, as well as the 21 of Jeff Bergner with some issues. Bergner still on pit road, trying to fix the car. And it looks like Eshton has made his way back onto the track. And it looks like, oh my, Darrell Calder going to come out with the race lead. So he will restart the race. Going to have Joshua Taylor just to his outside. Gary Eshton going to line up in the third spot. And this is going to be a very quick little shootout here. Only about 18 laps remaining here tonight in the season opener for the Pro Stock Bud Built Super Street Stock Series. And if you want to try your hands at turning the wrenches and turning the wheel, joining the Pro Stock Bud Built Series, check them on. Maybe if I could talk, you would know where to go. Check them on out on Facebook.com. All you got to do is type in the search bar, Pure Stock, and it'll pop right on up. Also, over on the iRacing.com league directory, just type in Pure Stock. Come check us on out. Maybe you can get out here and mix it up, as well as the 26 of Darrell Calder leads the field back to the green flag. Green flag back in the air, 3 wide at the start. 3 wide crossing the line. Eshton in the middle, Taylor at the top. Down on the bottom, Calder trying to make that bottom lane work as Eshton's kind of boxed in now. He's got Jeff Bergner right behind him once again. That's 73 of Vern Woodard. He's right there in the mix, but keep in mind he is multiple laps down here tonight after some mechanical issues. Oh, big time moment there for Surtan. Almost going around behind the field as we've still got a battle. 2 side by side, 3 wide off of turn 2. In the outside wall goes Taylor. Eshton goes to the race lead and to the point. 2 cars passed off of turn number 2, and that 23 of Gary Eshton goes back to a familiar spot, top of the speed charts, top of the leaderboard once again. Joshua Taylor having some issues here, into the wall a few times off of the corner exit. He's going to lose a little bit of ground to the 73, but that is not for position. Vern Woodard out there just kind of racing for pride right now. 10 laps down, but trying to get 1, maybe 2 of them back the good old-fashioned and hard way. We'll have to see how that all shakes out and pans out, but back at the front once again. Very familiar face has been up there pretty much the entire night. That 23 of Gary Eshton. As Eshton begins to open the gap, that gap now almost a second already with 13 laps remaining into turn number 3 now. 23 turns the corner, turns the car down, coming off of the corner exit, crossing the stripe. 12 laps remaining here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Darrell Calder running in the second spot. Joshua Taylor behind him. Jeff Bergner rounding out your top 4. 5th place, Dylan Surtan. 6th, Vern Woodard, after some mechanical issues, relegated him behind the wall for just a brief moment. And look at the front end of that 21 machine. Jeff Bergner has seen some better days, now battling with the 93 of Surtan. Surtan going to go to the outside, try to make the pass. The momentum prevailing for the moment as the 93 heads back into turn number 1. Way up next to that outside wall. Not sure that's going to work out. That 21 digging on the bottom, still side by side with the 93. The damage just a little bit too much for that 21 to keep. Dylan Surtan behind him. He's going to drop that position, and Surtan going to take over the 4th spot. Your race leader, Gary Eshton, has about a 1.5 second race lead over second place runner, the 26 of Darrell Calder. Calder has about a 1.5 second advantage over your 3rd place runner, the 01 of Joshua Taylor. So gaps at the front of the field. Looks like Jeff Bergner has called it a night. Looks like the damage has been too much, and the crew chief brings them back down pit lane and behind the pit wall. It looks like Woodard might have a shot here to possibly come up there and steal a top 5. We'll have to see how it shakes out at the end of this thing, as we've got 8 laps remaining in tonight's season opener for the Pure Stock But Built Super Street Stock Series. Here, season opener at Lucas Oil Raceway. 50 laps, the official race distance. We are on lap number 41 now, coming across the stripe for lap 42. With 7 laps remaining, does Gary Ashton have what it takes underneath the hood of the car to keep it straight and clean and put that thing in victory lane? A little bit of contact between himself and Jeff Bergner. After that contact into the outside wall, and it looks like Ashton got the upper hand of that contact because he has not had any issues, and Jeff Bergner relegated to pit road after making a handful of laps trying to get up to speed, trying to keep minimum speed, and just unfortunately at this moment too much damage to do so. So he is called to pit road, sitting now 3 laps down in the 5th position after battling the man on screen for the race lead. But nobody has had much for Ashton all race long. Ashton out to a big race lead early in the race. Bergner able to close in a battle for the race lead. Caution flag after contact between those two drivers. And since then, Ashton went to pit road, fixed up a little bit of damage, hit the track, and has not looked back. Went 3 wide with Darrell Calder and Joshua Taylor off of turn 2 and set sail since. Ashton making his way off of turn number 4 to cross the line. 3 laps remaining here for Ashton here tonight in the season opener for the Pure Stock But Built Super Street Stock Series here on turn 3 Racing Network. Back into turn number 3 goes that 23, and Ashton, he can pretty much breathe a little bit easier here as he's going to see popsicle sticks crossing the line. 2 laps remaining for the 23. Darrell Calder still continues to run in that 2nd spot, just about now 3 seconds behind your race leader. Running in the 3rd position now, Joshua Taylor back to 4th place. Dylan Sartan in the 93. Jeff Bergner running in the 5th spot. Gary Ashton crossing the line. White flag. Final lap here tonight at Lucas Oil Raceway. 23 makes his way off of turn number 2 for the final time. Back down the back stretch and into turn 3. Last time for that 23 here tonight. Gonna work his way through the corner off of turn number 4. Checkered flag in the air. 23 takes the checkered flag. Gary Ashton gonna go to victory lane here tonight in race number 1, season number 1 for the Pure Stock But Built Super Street Stock Series here on the iRacing.com, world's number 1 racing simulator. My goodness, great race. A great battle there between Gary Ashton as well as Jeff Bergner. And then Ashton able to capitalize on the incident and put himself back at the front of the field. We'll give him a little bit of time, let him celebrate a little, let him burn down the tires just a little bit. Almost kicking it sideways there was that 23 of Gary Ashton. Big hats off to him and his entire crew for tonight's race win. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Are you wanting your business to stand out? Well, now is the time to get torqued. Torque Graphics in Greenville is your one-stop shop for everything in the graphic design world. Josh Myers can take your business to the next level. Torque Graphics specializes in screen printing for your business, your hobby, or just you. Torque Graphics can even take care of all your motorsports needs. For top quality products, affordable pricing, and great customer service, call Torque Graphics today.
back trackside for your post-race interviews after a great opening night here at Lucas Oil Raceway for the Pure Stock but Built Super Street Stock Series here on the iRacing.com, world's #1 racing simulator. And I tell you what, let's see if we can't catch in a few words with your third place finisher here tonight, finishing in the third spot. Walking away with the final spot on the podium, the driver of the 01, Joshua Taylor. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. How's it going?
Going pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I can't find grip. Other than that, it was a good night. I was sliding over the place.
All right, so grip was a premium out there. Did the tires feel any better on the older set or after we had that little bit of an incident, that one caution here tonight after you got 4 fresh ones? Which one did you prefer?
The old tires, after you get about 7 laps into them, it felt better. I mean, the fresh tires, it just wouldn't hold the track whatsoever. I was quarter throttled in turns 1 and 2 when Gary took it 3 wide and did everything I could to stay away from him, keep from wrecking them.
All right. Now I noticed you used the I call it the middle high. It's not quite the high lane, but it's not quite the middle, right around that dotted line. Was that the preferred groove, or was the car just not quite working for you down there near the bottom?
I couldn't get where down to the bottom. I like to go a little bit high in the turn and dive to the bottom coming out, kind of like a diamond shape, but I could not get it to do it whatsoever tonight for some reason. The car wouldn't hold.
All right, my man. Well, tonight's race, a great way for you to start off the season, walking away with a podium finish here tonight, walking away in the third spot. So congratulations with that. Before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that car?
I like to say thanks to Turn 3 for being patient and working with me to broadcast this, and thanks for all the admin and the drivers that show up tonight. I know we got a small crew tonight, but it's going to grow, and first race of the season, down and more to go.
All right, my man. Well, it was a pleasure to watch you out there tonight, and we look forward to catching up with you at Oxford next week, so elbows up.
You too, sir. Have fun. Be safe.
All right, there you have it. A few final parting words from the driver finishing in the third spot here tonight. That was Joshua Taylor. Now let's see if we can get a few words in with the driver finishing in the second position, Darrell Calder. Let's see if we can't get him on the booth. See if we can't dial up the driver finishing in second here tonight, the 26 of Darrell Calder. How you doing, bud?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I can't complain, and if I did, nobody'd probably listen.
Yeah, I hear you. Sometimes I got that same problem.
Well, man, the race wasn't looking too pretty for you there for a little while. Late race caution put you in a very good position. You were able to maintain that position and walk away with a second place. So not too shabby to put that 26 on the podium in the first race here in the Pure Stock but Built series.
Yeah, it was good. I was just riding behind Josh Taylor just to get to let laps run down, and I was gonna pass him. I think I could have got around him, but like you said, that caution come out and changed everything. I come in and got 2 tires.
Now, we talked to Mr. Taylor moments ago, and he was telling us that the car felt a little bit better on the older set than after he came down and got tires. How'd the car feel for you after taking just 2?
It was a little the initial start off. It was a little loose, but it tightened up and snugged up about where I was running on older tires.
All right, my man. Well, we're sitting here looking at your car, and what's the moose about? I gotta know. I don't know. I just see the moose, and I'm like, what is this about?
I think it's a real life drivers race team that sponsors the league that this car's painted after, soft flats.
All right, well that's good enough. We're good friends with a lot of the drivers over there, so put in a good word, send them on in this way too. But you know how that is. But anyways, man, Darrell, heck of a job out there walking away with a second place here tonight from Lucas Oil Raceway. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that car?
Yeah, I want to thank you and all y'all do at Turn 3. I mean, Turn 3 is a big deal, and I enjoy racing on Turn 3 Network. Even though I got to put up with Roger every once in a while, but he's a good guy.
I'm gonna tell him you said it, not me. You said it.
Don't tell him I said he's a good guy.
All right, my man. Well, Daryl, it was a pleasure watching you, and we look forward to catching up with you next week at Oxford.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Some few final parting words, and Roger, shh. Some people do think you are a nice guy. Just saying. I don't know how, but just kidding. That gets us to the big man on campus here tonight, walking away with the race win. Let's see if we can't get in a few words with the driver, putting it on top of the speed charts for qualifying, then walking away with the race win. Gary Ashton, is Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, my man, putting that Jordan street stock in victory lane, man. That thing looks pretty.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, Vern Racing One does actually is one of the admins too. He actually did this paint up for me for a last season series, so thank him for it. It definitely is one of the better looking ones out there.
Yeah, very nice looking ride. And I mean, the 23 was dialed in here tonight. Looked like the crew chiefs and wrench turners back at the shop had the right setup and everything in there. At any point in time tonight, did you have any real concern? Because it looked like you were just a few steps ahead of the field.
Yeah, I did right before that caution came out. I ended up getting really tight, and that's probably lack of practice today. This is last minute decision to come out and run, and I only put in about 50 laps of practice and trying to tweak things here and there. And I knew that with these cars they get tight on the long run, so I wanted it real loose to start. And I guess I need to do a little bit more.
Well, my man, if limited practice and you walk away with a race win, I'm a little bit concerned for the field if you get more than that for practice. But I mean, that's for them to worry about, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I coach 10U baseball, and we usually have a game every Thursday, but it rained out tonight, so I was actually able to come and race. I was a good group of guys, these admins, Josh and Vern, and I think Jeff's another one of them. Hopefully this league turns out pretty good.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations walking away with not just the race win here tonight, but the very first win here in the season and first win for the league. So congratulations on all the milestones here tonight. Also walking away with the very first ever qualifying here. So, I mean, you put your name in the record books all over tonight's race. So, once again, congratulations with that. And Gary, before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of the car?
Thank my wife for allowing me to race a couple nights a week. I know she probably gets a little tired of it every once in a while. And like I said earlier, all the admins and putting this league on, and you guys for broadcasting it.
All right, my man. Well, good luck to you with the baseball, and hopefully we get to see you a few more times out here trackside. All right, there you have it. Few final words from your race winner here tonight, driver of the 23 machine, Gary Ashton. He's going to continue to celebrate just a little bit longer out there on the track. And I tell you what, that leads us with, well, not very much at all left to do here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, except walk through your final finishing order here tonight from Lucas Oil Raceway here in the season opener for the Pure Stock But Built Super Street Stock Series as we watch Gary Ashton continue to celebrate his race win. Your race results tonight for the Pure Stock But Built Super Street Stock Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, walking away with the race win, the driver of the 23 machine, Gary Ashton. Coming away in second, Darrell Calder. Third place goes to Joshua Taylor. The 93 of Dylan Sartan going to salvage what looked to be a bad race night for him. The 93 crew gonna slot home in the 4th spot. After battling with Ashton there, unfortunate contact going to relegate the 21 of Jeff Bergner back to the 5th spot. Vern Woodard, after some connection issues and troubles, walks away in the 6th and final spot here tonight from Lucas Oil Raceway. And that is race number 1 in the books, ladies and gentlemen. If you think you got what it takes to give these drivers a run for their money, check them on out on Facebook.com, Pure Stock. Check them on out over there. Send them a message. They'll get back with you. Try to get you hooked up and ready to go racing next Thursday night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Your upcoming schedule for the Pure Stock Bud Built Super Street Stock Series looks a little something like this. Next week we head to Oxford, then off to Charlotte Motor Speedway, then head back to Five Flags Speedway. So great tracks coming up here in the Pro Pure Stock But Built Super Street Stock Series. So if you think you got what it takes, hit them up on Facebook. Check them out on the league directory page on iRacing.com. Just type in Pure Stock and you will find what you're looking for. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a heck of a time. Once again, thanks each and every one of you for coming out here tonight. If you haven't already, give these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing Network headquarters, we do appreciate and salute each and every one of you joining us each and every time you do. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay loved. We'll see you next time here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.